Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at a new flash from Neewer. It's the Z2 Pro Edition, which is a TTL compatible roundhead flash and is available for both Canon and Sony cameras. And full disclosure, Neewer did send this flash out to me at no cost to myself, but I'm not being paid to do this review. They're not going to see it before I publish it. And as always, I'll give you my honest and fair opinion. So I asked Neewer to send me the Canon version of this flash together with a wireless trigger and a Bowens mount adapter. And later, check out my other video, episode 539, where I show you what you can do with just this one light. But first, let me kind of give you an overview of this flash. This is the Pro Edition, so there are several upgrades here over the regular Z2 series. And this makes this flash very, very competitive among all the Pro level flashes that cost maybe even 3 times as much as this one. Specifically, there's a lot of things I like about this, and I think a couple of things that might set it apart from other units that are available in this style, you know, the roundhead style flash. So let me start off with just the display here. I really like this. It's very large, easy to read, indoors or even outdoors, and you have all the information you could possibly want, to operate the flash. This is not a touch screen, and that's perfectly fine. I actually prefer a more tactile feel and control to the flash. So we have a row of 4 buttons here, and we have another 5 buttons here, including the test fire button and a control wheel. Okay, moving over to the right, we have an upgraded battery of 3000 milliamps. This will provide up to 600 full power flashes. It also has an integrated USB-C port, so you can charge the battery directly with any USB-C power supply. And it doesn't matter if the battery is in the flash or outside of the flash. You can always charge it separately. Okay, turning around to the front here, we have some optical triggers behind this red bar, as well as an autofocus assist lamp built in here. And we have 2 modeling lamps. We have one here facing front forward, and then we also have one inside the roundhead unit itself right here. And this is a very practical design because you can choose which one you want to use. So typically I'll use the one inside the roundhead when I have the flash off camera inside of a modifier. I'll turn this on to give me a little bit more illumination to help me with low light autofocusing. Because obviously the autofocus assist lamp that's here will not be line of sight anymore. And then also we have one here front facing forward. This is really useful when you're using the flash on camera to help you with autofocusing in low light, because a lot of times you have the flash pointed up and you're using this as a bounce flash rather than pointing the flash directly at your subject. And if you're in a low light situation, this modeling lamp is not going to be shining onto your subject, whereas this one, it will be. And this can also be used to some extent as supplemental lighting for video. And then coming over to the side here, we have a switch to go between TTL and manual mode, and this also functions as a quick TCM switch. And I'll explain that later. Here we have a USB-C port for doing firmware updates, and I have updated to the latest firmware. It's very simple, very straightforward. And also we have a PC sync port here, so you can actually even use this flash with older film cameras that have PC sync ports in them. Now going to the bottom here, you can see we have a nice all-metal hot shoe here, along with a quick release lever. And then in addition to that, they've added a rubber gasket around the hot shoe so that when you do mount this to the camera, because sometimes when you have only the quick release lever, there's a little bit of play in the flash on top of your camera. But with this rubber gasket here, you get an additional compression between the flash and your camera, so it's a very nice secure fit. Now coming over to the flash unit itself, you can see that this is a roundhead design. There is a magnetic ring here to attach various accessories, and on the Pro unit they have upgraded the quartz bulb here so that you get a life use of 100,000 flashes. So it's much more durable, and it also has a better cooling design inside so that you can get up to 100 full power flashes straight before the unit actually overheats. Okay, now I want to talk about some of the features that are available through the menus. Some of them are only on the Pro model. Some of them I think may be specific to Canon cameras. I'm not as familiar with Canon, but basically you have your row of 4 buttons here, and each button corresponds to the text above it. So if I want to go into the function menu, I just push and hold the first button here, and then I can scroll through the different options here. So we have our AF assist light, some standby modes, when to go to sleep. But we also have a scan function here, which is really nice. What we do is we select it and we start scanning. And what this does is it looks for clear Wi-Fi channels so that the flash can communicate with the trigger or other flashes. Because as you know, Wi-Fi can be very congested these days. So I'll go ahead and select this. And the end result being, you're going to get less misfires due to congested Wi-Fi channels. So you can see it's selected channel 19. And then let's see what else we got here. We have the light mode. This lets us choose which modeling light we want to use, but you can also do that from the main control panel. So we'll skip that. This next one is really interesting. RX compatibility mode. If we turn this on, I can actually control this flash using a Godox trigger. So if I want to fire this flash using any of my other various Godox triggers, even this X1, this is X series compatible. Now you can't use Godox and, say, the Q system triggers at the same time, but if you want to integrate this flash with maybe a Godox setup that you have already, this flash will work as a receiver only. It will not control other flashes. So again, this is receiver compatibility only. So I think Neewer's done an excellent job here. I mean, the flash is well made. It performs as you would expect professional gear to perform, with powerful light output of 76 watt seconds, fast recycle times of 1.5 seconds, USB-C charging. I love this large display with the tactile controls, which I prefer, and a couple of unique features like this dual modeling lamp, which I find a very practical design. In addition to that, it's receiver compatible with Godox wireless triggers, so I can integrate this easily with Godox flash system that I already use. And really, there's very little complaint about here, other than if I had to give it a couple of critiques, one is the buttons here. I wish they were illuminated, or at least a different lighter color than the black casing here of the flash itself, because they're actually a little hard to see in low light, like in my studio or maybe at events and things like that. So that'd have been nice. And then another thing would be if they could have added a port here so you can attach an external battery pack, so you have virtually unlimited runtime, or even maybe faster recycle times. But really, other than that, I don't have any problems with this flash. Those are not deal breakers for me by any means, and I can highly recommend this flash. Now, it retails for $299, but this goes on sale all the time for well under $200. So check out my affiliate links down below, and you'll see the current pricing. And I think at that kind of pricing, this flash is a bargain. And don't forget to pick up like the radio triggers and Bones mount adapters. I'll have links down there below for these as well. And you can do a lot with just one light and a few very modest modifiers. But that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.